first moon rises, glowing brightly. Got a really nice view. It was cloudy all day, and I thought I might miss it, but we were graced with its presence. What's up, Starlight, Spectrum, and Bom Dia, and Silver Umbrella, Salvador, Easy E, Diego, and everybody else joining. Happy Friday, too. Just pulling up my tools over here. Atlas, Stellarium. Intense week. Glad it's over. Feeling good. Gonna get some rest tonight. Lucky to live, lucky to be alive tonight. Another night watching the moon and the stars. It's gonna be a great one. So I'm gonna have the moon for a little bit, then we'll check out some Saturn. Jupiter is pretty covered with clouds. It's real patchy on the western front. Yeah, we'll zoom in a little bit. What's going on, Maskilla 469? Yeah, the cloudage was insane, and then it just cleared like an hour ago. Yo, what's up, Evo Knievel? Interesting spelling. Welcome. Moon's at 99.8%, so I would say you can call this the full moon. Where was the Terminator? Terminator pushed past Aristarchus. So on the west of the moon, as we see it, that's where the Terminator line was, and soon it will be creeping. Actually, it looks like it might even already have started to creep from the top right. Let me just double check. I feel like maybe it's already waning. I guess it just stays 99.8. It doesn't really get any more illuminated this full moon. What's happening, Super Fortnite 115? What up, Eat All Your Fish? What's up? Did I hear about the meteor strike in the Caribbean in July that exploded in the atmosphere? I did read something about that, but there were like no follow-ups. Also, our atmosphere and magnetosphere are so powerful. Things burn up before they hit the surface, typically. quick zoom tour right into Sinus Iridum, Mare Imbrium. So it's definitely really hazy. The detail is going to be a little bit lost, but you can see all the features tonight. Copernicus, Kepler, Aristarchus, what's up, Michael Wise? Maskilla says, yeah, but this explodes with the force of 3 Hiroshima bombs. I just want to make a note for the sake of it, because I always chuckle when scientists or science in general uses parameters like that. It's 50 Earth sizes. It's like going around the moon 100 times. It's like 3 nuclear bombs. Like, how do you really even gauge that? How do you really like multiply what's already essentially unfathomably large or impactful? So I always thought it was just this extraneous way that scientists try and puff up science language or articles by using these things like it's 90 solar masses. It's the distance from if you ran across America 85 times. Like who the hell knows? Like that's a completely arbitrary parameter. All right, lamentation number 1 in the bag. Harvesting souls. What's happening, Howard Ewing and Michael Wise and Zerly and all the people coming through. What's up, Jojo, Salamone, and Catherine, right? Welcome. And Corey, what's going on? producers of Eyepieces, and everyone else joining. Hope you've all had a great week. Rolling into Saturday here, but this Friday is kicking, feeling good. Thankfully, things are going well for everybody on this stream. Hopefully. We're still alive. That's what matters. Another night to observe space. Mascilla says, all the crazies are out tonight. We shall see. So I got the contrast pulled up. You can kind of see the Terminator creeping on the top right around Mare Crisium. Look at that dent. That's around Mare Marginis, Mare Undarum, underarm. So I'm going to start getting a little fuzzy moon shortly because the door is in the way. So I might switch over to Saturn for a little bit. I've been cooking since I started the stream. It's so damn hot. Salamoni, right? Salamoni? Hope I got that right. I didn't mean to joke. What's going on, duplicate? Ow, the cats. I love today. I listened to only half of it, but it was See the Pattern. Had an interview with Monty Childs from the Sapphire Project, and that was real juicy. I'm gonna listen to that later, but check that out. Actually, I can link y'all. What's up, The Plain Truth? And let's see, anybody else? Yeah, Moon Fuzz for sure. I might actually do like a short stream and then stream later at like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. when the moon has moved past the doorway. All good. Friday night chills. So dang hot. Alright, that was a tune called Grown to Like You. I'm going to share my Bandcamp link real quick. If y'all like this music, I know some of y'all do, go stream it or download it from here or share it with friends who might like it. I'm going to be adding more. It's been kind of busy this month, but once the holiday season comes up, I'm going to have some more time to continue on and add all these new tunes, like this Alan Watts one. This one I'll post this week maybe for y'all. I just didn't do it because I wanted to make it a bit longer. It's only 2.5 minutes.
If you want life, don't cling. Let go. If you want life, don't cling. Let go. How can I desire not to desire? How can I surrender myself when myself is precisely an urge to hold on, to cling to life, to continue to survive? I may be like a person who has a bad habit, as a result of which he is committing suicide. He knows that, but can't give it up, because the means of death are so sweet. The way the world actually is an enormously complex, interrelated organism. People undergoing shock, people locked in the colorless, monotonous corridors. Is that if you are really aware of your own inner workings, we didn't have some campaign to have an improved brain, when you see that there's nothing else, there's nothing else. If you want life, don't cling.
What's up, everybody? Yeah, so it's getting a little bit hazy around the moon, but the view is still there. What's happening, Globebusters, and what's happening... Let's see, who else did I miss? AK, what's happening? Justin, and Dagger, Spells, Ed Chair, David Schmidt, And that's it. More tunes coming through. Y'all are very nice about it. So let's play some other things as a groove. Alright, that was a little bit of moon geometry as I see it. I try not to force the shapes, but really once you get the edges, it's not too hard. So we got this 99.8 harvest full moon an hour left of this Friday 13th. What's happening, Julian Rodillo? Platonic Solids. What's up, Aisling717? How are you? So fat, duplicate. Exactly, crime scene tape on the moon. Some hexagons died here. Alright, let's see. So, what I was scribbling is not just nonsense. Obviously, the idea here is that the moon grew these features either electrically or under some sort of current induction, is both electric, but either zapped with electric discharge or inside of some sort of charge field with moisture created these kind of large mare, which is opposed to the popular theory of impact. For me, it's very simple at this point. The idea that large impacts in a certain period about 4 billion years ago creating the mare on the moon doesn't really make sense. Physically, I've never seen it in the laboratory, and you can't really gauge the size of these impacts. And also, where did all the lava that came up to fill these basins, where did that all come from? What is it made of? Like, why does it all seem level across the surface? And yeah, it makes a lot more sense that these are geometric shapes that are akin to crystal growth and some sort of erosion of the top layer of the lunar highlands to the lunar mare being another layer of surface, about 20,000 feet, 30,000 feet roughly. It looks cooked, boiled, zapped, but impacts I feel are much, much smaller. Of course, there are tons of impacts, like tiny ones that occur on the moon, but things the size of the craters that, the mare even that we're looking at here, like Sea of Serenity. Yeah, I'm gonna scribble a bit more, so Sea of Serenity, Sea of Tranquility, Mare Crisium, Mare Imbrium, Fecunditatis, Nectaris. It almost looks like molecules. And it looks like that simply because it's like recursive, information is recursive fractally, and shapes and geometry and nature mimic each other at all magnitudes. So the same way I'm looking at this geometry, I could also draw a face in here. All of it is pretty much the same sort of primal force of nature. Closer to Mare Serenitatis, like a protruding crystal around Proclus, yeah? (11:11 on the clock). Let's zoom in here to Proclus. So there's a little bit of a shadow on the moon. That's simply because we're looking at it through the window pane on my door of the porch. So I'm getting a little bit of aberration. Fear not. We'll see. It's going to go for a while. So clarity is going to be scarce, but regardless, we got a shot of the moon. What's happening in Cleary? Yeah, it's all rainbows. Well, I can adjust the settings a bit more, but you can see it's quite washed out. and grab myself a little bit of water. It's hot. So because we got a lot of people, I'm going to chat a bit. Let me know if you have any questions about the moon or electric universe stuff. I want to shout out, check the description for great links to electric universe, plasma cosmology, and proto-Saturnian mythology. Shoutouts to Greg J, Electroterra Vision, Electric Universe Eyes, The Electric View with Neil and Shockwave, Rick. Got Kronos, See the Pattern, that's what I was linking to earlier. Did a great interview with Monty from Sapphire. And it's actually really interesting to hear some of those perspectives, to hear Montgomery Childs give his own perspective on the world and the project and Thunderbolt's project. So that's fascinating. Who else we got? Of course, Ben Davidson over at Suspicious Observers, and Sky Scholar Pierre-Marie Robitaille. He should be back, hopefully doing videos soon, talking about the electric sun. And if you haven't checked out Emmanuel Velikovsky or Halton Arp, I recommend looking into those gents. And finally, Billy Elverton. Too Tough To. He hasn't posted in a long time, but Electric Discharge in the Laboratory. Just incredible stuff. So check out the description, and I'm going to give you quickly a link to one of my playlists, the best of playlist, because I know people tend to not find these playlists. It's not easy. Although some of y'all did leave me comments on really old videos. I'm looking at you, Howard. And I think Catherine Salamoni. Check me on the old Sun video. That was cool. What happens is basically I think YouTube starts retiring old videos. I could barely even find them in the right tab. They're switching over to like YouTube Studio, and I don't know, it's all just a mess. So I'm going to give you all a couple links to my playlists. If you're interested, go check it out. So this one is Best of TakeBackSpace. And yeah, so we're looking at the moon through 2 panes of glass on a screen door. It's looking all right, but the tracking is atrocious from this angle. I don't know why, it's just particularly weird angle. So it's kind of slipping every so often. But like I said, moon better than no moon. We'll put on some track here, a little bit of background. And this playlist is a series of impact versus electrical discharge craters. It's got a bunch of Thunderbolts project, a few NASA videos, and in the laboratory electrical discharge machining, so you can see and compare for yourselves. What's up, authenticators? Catherine, how's it going? V-Smart, why am I observing from inside? Well, typically I'll observe from this location, but on the left side of the staircase that I use to scope, there's a screen door. And normally I'll stream at a point where the moon has already crossed that threshold, which is about, I don't know, an hour from now. And especially when the moon is going high overhead. It's basically right in the way. So we're seeing the moon through this door. That's all I can do right now. I can switch over to Saturn and then wait for the moon to come across the threshold. Yeah, it looks like clear skies. It's just the typical kind of full moon haze, that patchy kind of thick clouds, not elucent. Not elucent. Yeah, it looks very, very clear. So once it crosses the doorway, then we'll have a nice zoomed in shot. All right, one more playlist for y'all. This one is very, very interesting. This is the astronomer Halton ARP, talking about intrinsic redshift, and he's one of the most fascinating people that I want to say I discovered, but no, I just discovered for me, but a lot of people know who he is. Really a pioneer in observational research. So check those out if you'd like. What's up, VW Blue Sky? What's up, Merely? Interesting. It's so funny how certain words start sounding like not themselves. Merely, when you say it, just sounds freaking weird. Sorry, not joking. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, so see, it's getting really blurry now because it's crossing the top of the doorway, so it's aberrating. All right, what I'm going to do, I guess, is I'm going to switch over to Saturn for a little bit. It's cloudy, but I think I can see it. And we'll keep riding this space stream. 1122. Yo, what's up everybody? What's happening? Alex Nevarez, Roblox and more says, when will harvest the moon turn orange? It's pretty glowing right now, but I got a door in the way. So I've shifted over to the Saturn for a little bit. You can see Titan and Dione, Rhea, Tethys, and another star to the far right. I think it's a little bit out of focus, I'm going to adjust it. But Saturnian system, I'm going to zoom in on Saturn real quick. Let's get chill here. Conga beat. Or bossa beat, rather. Oh, alright. Excuse me. So, I pulled it up real quick, but I figured let's talk about it. So it says C2019 Q4 Borisov BORISOV Ev. Ridiculous. Brain melt. Is an interstellar comet with a heliocentric orbital eccentricity of what are the two lines, the squiggly lines? Let's learn. What are two squiggly lines? Oh, it's pi. Okay. Of pi 3 and is not bound to the sun. The hyperbolic excess velocity of pi 30 kilometers per second. So interesting. I don't think I've ever read anything like that. Diego Nibiru is actually supposed to be Jupiter, the destroyer. Saturn is Kronos. Pretty sure, after researching it a bunch, it seems like Jupiter really was referenced as Nibiru. We'll see if Shockwave comes through to lay that down. But just keep reading here about the comet. So it says, astronomers spy a second interstellar visitor. Newly discovered comet is likely interstellar visitor. And our best look at interstellar comet Borisov so far. I'm going to pull that up. There's a color composite image. And where is it supposed to be in the sky? That's where I'm trying to figure it out. Yeah, so I'll have to look a little bit more into it. It says the comet's current velocity is about 93,000 miles per hour. That's insane, which is well above the typical velocities. Let me lower this a little bit. I chose a very noisy track to talk over. Let me get something a little chill, a little bit chiller. Perhaps not that one. This one's chill. All right, it says the high velocity indicates not only that the object likely originated from outside our solar system, but also that it will leave and head back to interstellar space. The object will peak in brightness in mid-December and continue to be observable with moderate-sized telescopes until April 2020. After that, it will only be observable with larger professional scopes through October 2020. All right, so this is something that's starting in December towards April. I'll definitely look into it a bit more. We'll see if we can't, like, I've been meaning to kind of set up and do different targets like Neptune, Andromeda, the Pleiades, certain other targets, but I have to really set up the scope for it. Perhaps this is a good opportunity because these usually are in the northern skies and I don't really scope there very much. It's very difficult. I don't have an outlet. But maybe if I can get like a power tank for the scope, I can move it to that location. Yeah, I think you need like a super powered scope to see it right now. Commercial scopes we'll see in December. But comets are pretty tough. I know I've seen some great images on the Astro Imaging channel of comets, but I haven't been able to get it myself. Although, you just have to try, and time just goes. So Saturn chilled out a little bit. Actually, the atmospheric turbulence, of course, is in our atmosphere, but Saturn is really being affected by the full moon, the energy, and creating atmospheric turbulence, plus the clouds and the humidity. I know it. The next big thing is probably the 11th of November, which is slowly closing in. That's going to be a solar stream in the morning. We're going to check out Mercury transiting the sun. I'll show you all actually the first one that I did. Find it real quickly. Michael Wise says, I wonder if our solar system speeds up as we go through the center of the galaxy, the age of Aquarius. So I actually think it goes up and down through almost like a wave pattern through the different cycles and the epochs. So it must be like the golden age and then the dark age, the trough. What is it? The crest and the trough. So depends on if you want to associate the sun's patterns and the cycles of the sun to these kind of waveforms of larger, like the 26,000 year cycle. But I think there are cycles within cycles. So I feel like there are ice ages and I don't want to say heat ages, but basically inversions of ice ages where the planet goes through moderate climates like we do now. I mean, everyone's complaining about the climate, but the fact is we're all alive and there's fauna and it seems like things are thriving. Tons and tons of people on Earth. So the Earth is bearing many fruit. And the solar system is probably changing as it goes through our cluster, and the Earth is probably changing as it moves through the solar system, and our molecules are probably changing as we move through time and space, both of which can't be reified, but space is really not empty, and it's not really a thing. It kind of contains everything, and time is just what consciousness, at least at our level, perceives as pattern repetition and intervals between events. And we can apply any sort of time to it, really. Just have to all agree. That'll be the day, right? Remember, the 11th of November. Oh, I know. I was looking for this Mercury transit. May 9th, 2016. So this is an old school PBS clip. So there's a little solar spot, sunspot, and Mercury to the right, tiny little dot. And so this will be the second time trying to capture this. There's a good enough opportunity. It's like a 4-hour window or more. So let's mark that. I'm going to take a look outside, see what's going on with the moon. I think it's still behind the door, but we got some space going on. What's going on? The only 0506. Welcome, everybody. Yo, yo. So I tried to go and check the moon, but it's literally right, the door is right between the scope and the moon right now. That was the glass just distorting it pretty badly. That's the situation right here. It is very, very hot, and I got a little bit of Saturn. You know what I might do is take a little break for maybe an hour and then come back and stream later once the moon is kind of moved into view. It's going to definitely take like till like 1 a.m. So perhaps that's what I'll do. Shout out to Shep, DGC, OG, and everybody else hanging out. I know it's a packed room, but yeah. Let me wind this one down for a little bit because I'm going to go cool off in the AC, get another smoke, and snack a little bit, and I'll be back on maybe an hour from now. Just reading through some of the comments. We'll be here for show. Awesome Joe. Is Neptune out now? It should be, but it's also like way too cloudy for anything like Neptune. You can see Saturn is barely coming through. It's so hazy right now. It's about 11:45 right here. But yeah, it'll be nice to cool off for a second. I think the moon is definitely affecting it. All right, I appreciate it, my peeps. Have a good little hour to get your stuff in order, and we'll do another little space dive shortly. If the weather sucks, I'll leave an update on YouTube and let y'all know. But otherwise, I'll catch you real soon on part 2 of the Friday night stream.